I think the house is alive. There's a consciousness here. You just know you're being watched. I started seeing light formations, bizarre light formations. It scared me so bad that when I close my eyes, I still see it. I can't stay here at night by myself. My name is Alice Jackson. I've had this house, I own this house in Florence since 1990. In the last 2 years, there's been a lot of interest in the house. For one thing, it just makes it more comfortable around my neighborhood. I mean, now everybody knows about the house, and it's very well accepted. People are very supportive. They'll tell you their own stories about things, they understand your experience, and it's very positive. It resonates with people because obviously it's a universal experience to some degree. I mean, it's throughout history, there have always been ghost stories, always been strange stories. People could relate to the experience. I love my house. It feels peaceful in the daytime. I like to come in and read a book. I like to have my friends over. But it's just different at night. I mean, it really is. It's just different.
I think a lot of people who think somebody deals with a haunted house, especially nowadays, they think it's kind of cool. You know, they're kind of like, it's awesome. You know, everybody wants a haunted house. But when you live in one, it's not quite that way, you know. So there must have been a bit of a path of emotions that have happened over the years.
For 20 years, we had things moving, ghost activity, doors opening, and I accepted that.
Okay, one more time, loud enough for everybody to hear. Can you please whistle one more time?
That's upstairs.
Do y'all hear that?
It hasn't happened again, though. Ask again.
Can you whistle one more time? Loud? It's literally upstairs.
That's bullshit.
It's
That's upstairs.
It's in that, it's in that closet. It's in the crawl space. Can you whistle one more time for me? Come on, try to whistle one more time loud.
In the last 11 years, 12 years, I started seeing light formations, bizarre light formation. I remember that one primary time that I just said, that's it. And that was an area of a cylinder of daylight in a pitch black room, light that didn't diffuse. That was it. I didn't know if it was just a fluke that it happened when I was in that room, or if it happened because I was in that room. So and then also I did at the same time have a strong feeling that I was being observed. So I didn't know if there was a conscious presence observing that room for some reason, or if I was the target. It happened because I was in that room. So and then also I did at
Alice's house, I do feel like, is still learning to communicate. I still feel like we are teaching the spirits in a weird way.
Do I think the house is still learning? It appears to be responding to our requests.
So we have a baseball, I believe we have on the stairs. I can put our sweet little doll here on the stairs. We put a doll in a blue dress on the stairwell. We focus solely on this object.
I see the doll for sure.
That's fine. That's
Yeah,
mainly what I want right there.
We're good. Yep, that's good.
All right, so you have John, Alice, Brad in the house investigating tonight. We would love some kind of visual representation that you can hear our voices and you can communicate with us. And we continue to ask over and over again that any intelligent entity that's here push that doll down. There's been objects that have moved off the stairs. They've been pushed. Can you do that again? Is that possible?
Push that little doll. A little doll on the stair. Just push it backward for us.
So we are verbally asking you to focus your energy on that blue doll. And eventually, amazingly, the doll fell.
every time I come, I ask that doll to fall.
I do too.
I know, and I was reinforcing it, and I said, John would love for you to have it fall even now or even where we lay.
Oh my God, Adam. Oh wow. Oh, wow.
The balls come down the steps several times still.
And more recently, it actually seems like the ball has gotten more aggressive when it comes off the stairs, even to the fact where it'll actually pivot almost before it actually just falls straight off.
The keyboard's played by itself on command.
The organ the piano playing on command, responding with deep burst. That's been something that's been new. So if you want to walk over here and play that keyboard or play that piano, play it for us. Just give us some kind of sign that you're here, you can hear our voice, and you want to communicate with us for a little bit tonight. So if you can light that up, that'd be fantastic. Obviously, you can always turn the chandelier off to get our attention. Put a ball, this little chair right here by the doll. And
Unbelievable. What? Dude, tell me what the odds are.
Okay. How did we miss that?
It's clearly Sabrina.
that was
What
music
the
box.
hell?
That's the
Oh,
music
shit.
box.
Holy shit. Yeah.
My music box is
It
playing.
is. Did you remove it?
It's it faded out.
What is it? I said, that's not normal.
Oh, listen. Did you hear that? Dude, that freaking piano just played by itself.
One of the major differences with the chandelier is not only does it turn off now, but we have actually captured the chandelier turning on by itself.
We've been asking the whatever's shutting that light off to turn back on, and that hasn't happened ever until recently. All of a sudden, it starts happening.
Okay, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave now. Back tomorrow. So if you want to do something, we'll still be able to sit. If you want to turn that light on, we'll be able to sit.
I think that when we put our energy into it and we can express the emotions that we have and how important it is, there's something in this house and these four walls on this land that's reacting to us, and it wants to help tell its story.
How does it make you feel knowing that you have this beautiful house, but you literally have to live somewhere else?
Yeah, I remember thinking, before that I might probably need to sell it because I'm doing the upkeep and, but I can't because I feel emotionally attached to it. Ashley, my daughter, died September of 2020, but I think I've processed it pretty well because she was very ill and I knew that she was dying, and we had time to. We even talked about it. We had time to express ourselves, and we had this. She said, I hope I die before you do, because she said, I think you could handle it better than I could.
But you are the best mom ever.
She had a lot of experiences, and so did I, and I really kind of hate that they're gone, except just in my own memory.
Oh, look, we really have this thing.
Looks good.
All right, this is roll AO2, clip 4. This is Ashley Peavy's interview on the marker.
I'm Ashley Peavy. I grew up in this house, and my mom is Alice Jackson.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Oh, yeah. I do believe in ghosts. But I'm real conflicted. I can't decide if I am wanting to embrace this or wanting to totally reject it, because it's scary. It is scary. All these things are, they're just not normal. I'm not really scared because I grew up here. I'm not really scared, but if something happens, then I get scared.
What's my mom's name? It's okay.
When I had John Joseph, my child, he was 6 months old, and we were sleeping in that bed by ourselves. This is the weirdest thing. Then he started crying, and so I came in this kitchen to get him some milk. And when I got to the kitchen to get him some milk, I heard this ballroom music in this living room, and it was like very loud, and it was just playing and playing. And my mother-in-law had come here, and she was upstairs, and I thought, when she wakes up, I'm gonna fuss at her for having that ringtone that plays all night long. But the whole time I was down here getting milk, there was ballroom music. When I got up in the morning, she'd not left her phone down here. Her phone was upstairs. But I heard that music. I mean, I wish somebody could find an answer. But I'm afraid of what that answer might be, you know.
Ashley's passing, we lost her quickly, and Alice is so unique. She processes things differently than anybody that I know.
I'm actually fine because I think I processed all that ahead of time, but I still think that life continues. And I really, when I visualize her, my natural sense is that she's perfectly fine. She's perfectly happy.
One of the reasons why we decided to start calling out Ashley's name is because she knows what we do here as far as investigating.
Ashley did grow up here. She loved Alice, and I mean, it makes sense. She knows what we did. She liked what we did.
And of course, we did this with Alice's consent, which is very important. And the night we did that, we did get some strange direct responses from the organ over in the corner.
We were respectful, obviously, and we said, Ashley, are you here? You know, can you give us a sign? You know, we would love to communicate with you, talk to you, let you know Alice misses you. And all of a sudden, the organ piano started booming, a deep bass hit.
Ashley, this is John.
Oh my.
Sounds like a heartbeat.
It's every time we say Ashley.
Ashley, is this you?
This is an absolute direct responses. I mean, it's unbelievable. It wasn't a keystroke, it was a thumping sound coming from the organ. Thank you. Keep doing that for us. That's a direct response. Thank you.
Turn your phone off, bro.
Oh, it's powered off?
Yeah. Do you have yours on there? I'm just curious, because whenever y'all were back there, it stopped.
It's off. My phone's down, off.
Lights off.
Chandelier shut off.
Later on, we found out, or I found out, that Ashley is who gave Alice that piano, organ.
We got an organ in the house, and we had heard, you know, my daughter gave it to me because she had heard a lady in town was selling it because she said it was haunted, and she was trying to sell it for $150. Well, nobody bought it, and so then she said she'd sell it for $75. I told Ashley I would take it, you know, and so I went up there and got it, and it didn't do anything. But when John and Brad tried to get the organ to play, they called her name, and that's when it played.
There was two right there.
Y'all did. Don't. Because you went.
Do I think it's Ashley? Again, it's speculation, but I think it's possible because of the amount of direct responses that I got.
It's not crazy to think that this would be a place if Ashley was to come and visit.
Now, I'm not saying that I necessarily think that was her, but I know that she would do that if she could.
Obviously, we know that the land is probably the heartbeat of the supernatural things that are happening here.
Say hello, John Buller.
What's happening?
John Buller's in the house.
Sabrina, all you need is a beach and this. You're good to go.
Amy Buller's in the house.
Seeing the research tent pop up, it's cool because it's nice to have a base camp.
It makes it easier for us to help document things in the house. So to see this tent, that's things we dream of being able to have access to as paranormal investigators.
This is awesome.
Awesome. One of the most exciting things is the ground penetrating radar. Alice has been wanting to do that for forever.
I'm Benton Smith with Century Mapping. We combine ground penetrating radar with GPS. We map underground infrastructure from cemeteries to municipalities, anything that's underground. If there was a burial, like let's say a body was buried in a shroud, body decomposes really quickly, leaving basically a pocket of air. Yeah, so, all right, so you see this? This could be just a change in the type of soil. I mean, it could be from, obviously we have a lot of clay here.
But in your estimation, it would probably just be soil related and not like a man-made structure or a burial, that sort of thing.
Not a burial.
Okay.
Not a burial, but I mean, could it be something that was man-made? Yeah. So these are potential burials. It's not a lot to see, but you can see here, there's a beginning and an end.
Yes.
This is about 4 to 5 feet. And so everywhere that I have a red flag, it's very similar. There's something there.
Is that typically what you would see if you were doing that sort of work, looking for?
For an unmarked grave, yeah.
Okay.
There's certainly, I mean, so far I've found 10 areas that some of them could be unmarked graves.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Could be.
10, huh? Whew. Alice, hey.
Hey,
Alice, this is Carolyn. Carolyn.
how are you?
Alice.
Nice to meet you.
So I brought in a geophysicist named Carolyn with background in astrophysics to really look into what could be creating that light phenomena, because a lot of things can be explained by what's happening environmentally and not something paranormal.
I'm delighted to have somebody to tell that story to, who would understand possibly.
My name is Carolyn Strife, and I am a geophysicist that specializes in near-surface geophysics acquisition and analysis. The ERI is a very useful tool because we already have known value ranges for different sediment and rock units. I could give some information now for Alice to hopefully be able to start coming to some sort of resolution on what is happening here.
She gave us a lot of theories as to what could be creating the phenomena Alice is experiencing. It has to do with earthquakes and maybe even volcanoes and fault lines and blue shale that's underneath the ground here.
There are different types of rocks that when you heat them or cool them, they will have a voltage. If you compress them, you get a charge onto them. Also, when you do different mechanical processes, they will illuminate. There is an actual scientific effect that creates light from rubbing quartz. And because we know that Alice has sand and shale underneath her home, there is quartz in sand and shale. So could something be causing some of these light effects that Alice is seeing? What if something is affecting Alice's house momentarily because of the charges in the ground that could be occurring.
Having a geophysicist come do research here on the land is huge.
I think it's very exciting anytime you have a person of science background that's willing to reach out to the paranormal side of things. You don't see that. At least I haven't seen much of that at all in this field.
Hey, Carolyn.
Hey.
You said you had some information to share.
This line we did that passed by the tree that the dog hit at. So there's something else in the ground there. That is not soil. That is something. And it's not a tree root. It's too big to be a tree root.
So what you're saying basically is the electricity goes through the soil, and here it is not conducting because there is a void there.
Yeah, it's
Or something.
it's having a harder time getting through the soil.
Wow.
I'll tell you something. This is extremely similar to when I did an old section of a cemetery, and the body was no longer decomposing, so there was no longer any signature of the body, but the fill that was above the body was still resistive enough to be shown, which is what we're exactly seeing here. And there's now fresh soil on top.
So that's a loose sort of fill, as if somebody had a shovel or something.
It would be, yeah, where somebody dug something and then filled the hole back up. There's something going on there.
This is great. Thank you for all this hard work. I think we may have to dig there and just see what is there.
Someone needs what? Copy that. Copy that. Can you get your camera up?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you start rolling? Yeah. Hey, Steve. Here, we're coming up for it.
What happened? Why are you
Okay. So I was like kind of looking over here the entire time. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just saw somebody. So if I was standing over here, I'll show you exactly where the person walked. But they were definitely not heading into the tent, so I expected to see somebody walk out the other side. There is nobody over here. There's nobody came, nobody turned around. Okay.
So you were.
I'm just having this is just too wild. Sorry, yes, okay.
So during your just research on your lines, you thought you saw somebody walking over here? And you came over and there's nobody here?
And I just happened to see as I'm facing towards this area of the yard, I saw somebody walking towards your tent.
I mean, I don't want to put any more sort of, not fear, but I guess maybe anxiety into the situation for you, but there are many, many reports of an apparition being seen back here. The neighbor has claimed to see an apparition back here. We did have a psychic named Jill come here, and she drew the image of a gentleman that she saw in the backyard here.
So the gentleman I saw, the thing that drew me to seeing this person walking for just a brief second was the fact that he was wearing white. But
Carolyn came here as a total non-believer of the paranormal and had an experience that changed her mind. And she's honestly a little bit concerned that the science community is going to look down on her. They're going to raise their eyebrow. But, that's scary for me because I wanted to completely explain a lot of the phenomena. So I could tell Alice, like, what you're experiencing is actually A, B, C, and D. But the geophysicist had an experience.
We've had another person, Erin, who lived next door, grew up next door, who said she saw a full body apparition, not only in the same location as a geophysicist, but also the description was pretty close. A male in a white shirt.
The man I saw at the door, he seemed to be about my height, very young, early 20s, late teens. He was wearing a white shirt and he had dark hair and it was slicked back and real strong eyes. I didn't feel like a presence or anything when I was here cutting grass. It was completely sprung up on me. And he looked so real. He was looking this direction and I came around the corner and he turned his head and looked right at me and I looked at him and his eyes were so intense. It wasn't anything, the ghostly, fuzzy, foggy look that you think you see in movies and TV. He was completely solid.
Erin told us the story about seeing the full body apparition on the back land.
Yeah, I still remember that because I was at work and she called me and I mean, you could tell she was nervous, excited, and she told me, you know, such detail.
I mean, there's things that I think draw us out there a lot, you know, whether it's the door opening or the EVP we got one time that said, "I'm in the woods." I think that we really should focus a lot on the backyard, and I think that's the heartbeat of what's going on.
Hello. It's good to see
Hey,
you.
good to see you too. I'm excited that Jill Morris, who came last time, is coming back because she did have a lot of accurate statements and intuitive things that were borne out by things that happened.
There is a female that I'm not familiar with that has been coming here. And she brings with her a lot of music. Does that mean anything to you?
It does.
And I kept hearing music that almost sounded like a music box.
That's exactly what we hear.
She was standing, like I was here, and she was standing more towards the door, so whatever this area where the table is over there. And she was just twirling around, pulling all of these beautiful lights in with this beautiful music playing in the background. What I did is the name Rich came up, then Richardson, and I'm like, what does this mean? There is a waltz that goes back to the state of South Carolina. Do you have anything to do with South Carolina?
Yes, that's where they're from. We have a genealogy book that traces the family back to South Carolina.
For crying out loud. Then we have this spirit. And I call him the Reverend. I wouldn't say he was evil by any means. He's just a dark person. He just seemed to be, when he was alive, which carries over, angry. This area, this land may have been his, or he had something to do with this land at one time. I'm just gonna say it. It's almost like, don't find out about me. Like, it's because it's an exposure. He was not a nice person, and I do think he had a hand in what happened in the backyard. Okay. So this is the general area. I'm just gonna be honest. Mm-hmm. He was taken here. I think he was hung here. There was a debt to be paid, and he was killed. It's not that he stole something, and that's kind of what his message is right now, speaking with you, is to know he's not going to disrespect you. He wants people to understand he was a good man. But I think the reason he is really strong here is because this is where he passed. That's my opinion. But he tends to hang out here. Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't work with psychics, that much, but my job here is to service the investigation, to service what Alice wants, to facilitate that. So if the team wants another psychic here, we're going to bring one in for them. And I thought it was important to make sure that is a psychic who has never been to the house before.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
How are you? I'm Alice.
Hey, I'm Sam.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Come in. So, here we are.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, like as soon as I came on the property, I definitely started having anxiety issues. So when it comes to my abilities as a clairvoyant and as a light trance medium, I've learned to kind of separate my emotions from the emotions of the spirits that I'm communicating with. So I came in with my guard up. I did feel not welcomed when I first walked up to the property. So I was feeling sort of the energy, the chaos. So what I've been picking up on for the past few days is there's an older gentleman who wants to communicate. And he definitely is the type of person that very cranky. So when I was coming in, he was like basically telling me to get. And this is my land. This is my land. And I think that we're going to see on the property that there's definitely signs that he was on the property. This was not his house. His house was out back. Now he has stuff in the back. He has secrets in the back. And I hope that we can maybe uncover those secrets, but he's hiding something. Whoa. Well, I can see if anybody's tried to stay in this room, like why they wouldn't want to stay here. All right, I'm gonna go there. Okay. All right, what do you want from Alice? All right, I'm seeing, he wants you to dig out in the back. Okay, he's showing me that he wants you to dig. There's something hidden down there. I'm getting chills. My back of my neck is being touched right now. Well, when I was connecting with the spirit of the older man, he kept saying, dig, dig, dig. All right, sir, so I want you to tell me where to dig. Give me a sign. Or can you show me where you want to dig? I guess give me some animal indication of some sort. All right, so I'm gonna keep walking.
Okay, that's interesting.
All right, so I'm getting a flashback to someone getting like an attack over here. So there was some kind of all right, so just so you, I'm just gonna go there.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was definitely tensions going on. I think that there was an attack, maybe even something like a lynching of some sort that could have happened back here too. The animals responding to me means that that's the truth.
Jill.
Nice to meet you, Sam.
It's nice to meet you, Sam. So you've had a chance to kind of get your own vibe, what's going on?
I feel like that the land is stained with blood. There's something out there that we should probably investigate.
I am hearing a really super pitch high frequency.
Oh, me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you ever heard that before? I know you said static, and I've heard that here before.
Yeah, I heard, when you said you heard it in that back room, I did too.
You want to go check it out?
Yeah.
Be careful, because this is new for me. And see, it picks up in here.
Yep.
Okay, so this is new. And I was trying to get my bearings. It does seem over the bed.
Yep, it's over here.
It's over the bed. It's like super loud over here.
Over there, yeah. I will say this thing wants to attach to one of us.
There is a male, and that's what he is trying to do. And it's odd you say that because I get it right outside the house. Whereas the last time I was here, he was in the house and he was very unpleasant.
Right. Was he the murderer? Do you think that he's the one that
I
committed the
think
murder?
he had something to do with it. And spending, what, a couple hours out in the back really gave me a good chance to pick up on there is a spirit of an enslaved person.
Oh my gosh, okay, you're right. That's what I was picking up too.
So it is something.
You actually said lynching.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I picked up on. And there's a, I'll show you that.
You did? Okay, this is giving me chills.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to take a moment?
Yeah. Sorry. I should have trusted myself. Because I did say that, but I was just like, I didn't want to go there, you know? Because it's so horrific. Like, who would do that to somebody else, you know? Working with Jill on this collaboration was awesome for me because I was able to get a confirmation for the things that I was picking up.
His spirit is very grateful. So just know that.
And I want him to know, and I want you to know that his story has been heard, and he's no longer a man without a voice. He now has a voice, and he can speak freely, and hopefully he can move on to heaven. This is good, Alice. I feel
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it feels
Wow,
wholesome, healing.
Healing, that's
Mhm.
it.
I'll do the full spectrum.
Yeah.
You need to go in there. Oh my God. Where?
Just on that chair. And then just ask some questions, see if you can get the REM pod to go off.
So my name's Amy, and you know me. I've been coming to this house for years. Hi. Can you do that again? You know I don't like this room.
What's that noise?
Sounds like temperature.
Which one? It's this one.
Are you the spirit who made all that light happen with Alice when she was in this room?
Put this one there.
I know it's a lot we're asking of you, and it takes a lot of energy to be able to communicate. But I really want you to try really hard. All right, we're gonna walk out. So Alice is here with us tonight, and I know y'all really like having Alice come in. Can y'all do something to show that you're happy Alice is here?
What we want to do tonight is engage with you and understand who you are, what your name is, and why you're attached to the house and the property.
Is anyone here a victim of the fire?
Are you buried on this property?
Do you remember the fire in this town?
Do you understand that this house, this property where we're standing at right now, this is Alice's home? You're not supposed to be here. What was that?
What happened? Didn't it light dim? I mean, something dimmed. Oh, I just thought it's something dim. I thought the room dimmed.
Alice, they know your voice better than anybody, so anything you have, ask, just...
Okay, is there anybody here who's never been here before? Can you speak so that we can hear you?
There you go.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big hit, too. All three of the lights lit up.
We appreciate any form of communication that you do like that.
It's crazy.
We're trying to uncover who you are and how we can help you.
So weird. Should probably all sit down.
Alice.
And it's interesting that it's not going off now with Amy right next to it.
Walk over there again.
Walk towards the back door, Amy.
You want her to go outside? If you want her to go outside.
Oh my
Look how
God.
far away she is. Look how far away she is.
Okay, that's weird.
All right, let's transition. Let's leave this here. Let's leave this REM pod here in this chair, and then we'll take the full spectrum camera and let's hit out the backyard.
That's a very old tree.
I thought I was. Right there.
We're trying to figure out if there's a body buried in the ground.
If you're buried here on the property, can you come up to this device and make it light up?
Why is that cat digging? It's interesting.
All right, y'all, let's wrap it up and let's head back into the house. That does not include the kitty cat.
No, cats stay here.
Sure that cat's not hungry.
Yeah.
So guys, all of these red flags, right? That red flag, the red flag, see 'em? Those are all spots that the ground penetrating radar detected that there could be individual bodies or burials.
Really?
Yeah, yep. And even there, that red flag right there. Now, the geophysicist found spots right here. She said that there could be a body.
Oh my
here,
goodness.
Right here.
So, just when it hits me, the bodies is the most intriguing thing to me, but it's crazy. So you're telling me that each red flag is a potential body?
Yeah, yep. We had a geophysicist come here, and she marked some places that she thought were possible burial sites. We had ground penetrating radar come, and he marked places that he thought were possible unmarked graves. You know, doing research with Mary Alice, it does seem that this property could have been part of, all of these properties, honestly, part of the original graveyard, and that everything else was moved, but they just left the bodies. You know, that is a possible scenario too.
So I wanted to see if Alice and the team wanted to dig there, and that ethically, you know, that's a bit of a gray area. You know, should you, shouldn't you? But I thought it would be important for a few different reasons. One, if we found something, we could offer proper burial. We could do things that could possibly get Alice to feel better in terms of the phenomena happening here, and maybe show Alice that it is something that is human in nature, that it could have been a person that was once alive, and it's not as scary as it could be if it was something that she couldn't put a face to. If we did find any bodies or any remnants of an old foundation or anything, that there was a structure there at one point, it would make her feel a little bit better.
If it's bodies that's more modern, there's a chance there may be buried with personal items, and a metal detector could possibly pick up buttons or rings. It's just an idea.
No, that's a good idea. Actually, that's a great idea, because if you do find artifacts, right, like anything that looks like it would belong to a family, we can use those items as trigger objects.
Here's what we need to do, get the excavator over here so we can start getting it into the ground.
And Alice, I can probably use your metal detector.
Yeah, you can. I still have it.
Okay, beautiful.
Brad will get you metal detecting, and I'll go get shovels and gloves.
Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get started.
And just think, there's no other location in the world that investigates this hard, man.
Hold on tight. All right.
They started and going over after maybe 11 years. Even though I've lost the house to my personal use, I do feel like I've done the right thing by just opening it up to investigators. I feel like at least, you know, somebody's getting some benefit out of it, which will be justified in that something really will be found.
Hey, buddy. What's up, man?
Hey, man.
How's it going?
I've known Dustin for many, many years, and he's a great investigator. He's a good friend. He's one of the most kind people I've ever met and worked with.
I'm Dustin Perry. I'm a paranormal researcher. I've been investigating for about 24 years. I've traveled internationally. I've had opportunity to investigate in 27 different countries. The first impression of arriving at Alice's house is it's very unassuming. But I've learned over the years, the places that look very unassuming often have some interesting activity going on.
Dustin Perry.
Hey, Alice, how are you?
How are you?
I'm very well. I like to hug people.
Yeah,
How's it going?
Yeah, this Mississippi, what do you tell you?
Alice's house is very unique in the fact that there's no other place like it in terms of the amount of time it's been allowed to be investigated. For me, the paranormal is really a spiritual journey. However, I try to look at things scientifically to disprove and also to offer evidence so people can understand.
My name is Elizabeth Saint. I have a background in electrical engineering. I've been investigating the paranormal 10 years, but it's always been a part of my life. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm good.
Thank you. Elizabeth I've known for quite some time. I've actually never worked with her, but I know her background in electrical engineering. I know that she likes to build equipment. So I thought it was really important to have somebody come in that can build equipment and tailor it to certain experiences, to certain types of phenomena.
Having a background in electrical engineering has actually been really advantageous when I go on my investigations.
Hi, I'm Alice.
I'm Elizabeth.
It's nice to meet you.
It's great to meet you too.
Come on in.
You know, I look at things a little differently. Like, it's exciting when you have an experience, but there's always this side of me that is looking for another explanation.
I don't know a lot about your equipment and electrical stuff and all that, but I think it's fascinating. I would like to see how it works and see what you get.
I think it's great that Alice is open to the possibilities here of what could be going on. You know, a lot of times you go to a residential location and they already have it in their mind what they think is going on. It doesn't leave a lot of room for finding out real answers.
They're so wrapped up in the idea that this is the haunted place and this happens and that happens, and you can't possibly show them anything else. Where here, Miss Alice and the team just want to know what's causing these things. Is it natural? Is it some supernatural phenomenon? Or it's nice that it's not like there's a portal, there's a demon, and like, you know, it goes down that road. Here it's not like that.
People are just so excited to get the evidence, and I am with you 100% on that. Like, I am also very excited. But let's have it be real so that we feel better about the work that we're doing in this field.
So this has an accelerometer inside. It pretty much is a sensor that monitors any movement.
Do any of these balls ever move? The ones that are back here? Yeah?
Not from back there,
No.
just
Just the stairwell all
Yeah,
the time?
yeah.
Other balls have moved too?
Well, if whatever we ask, those dolls.
Hello.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Hey.
How you doing, Dustin?
Man,
Good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
What's up?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, John.
Elizabeth.
Dustin.
I know who you are.
Nice to meet you. Thanks
So nice to meet you.
for being here with us, man.
Great
We
to see
appreciate
you
you.
guys.
Something I love about Brad and John is honestly, they are so compelled to find Alice answers. When it comes to the equipment in the paranormal community, it's very, very limited. You have to understand, like, these are items that are being mass produced for sale. You know, they're not sent data sheets on what kind of sensors are involved inside the equipment.
You know, I kind of feel one of the biggest problems with paranormal research is that everyone's always, as I say, singing from the same hymnal. You know, we get all these devices, and what do we do to make new ones? We just put a new light on it.
You see some lights go off, you hear an alarm go off, and you're like, ooh, like there's something here. But that's not the case, you know? Like, there's so many other factors to take into consideration.
Or we combined, you know, now it has two features in one. It's like, but it's really nothing new. It's the same thing.
And I think that there has to be expansion outside of the community to kind of understand the tools that they're using, and to also understand all the false positives that they are getting in the process.
Coming to the house, I did want to create and kind of customize things that made sense to what you guys experience here, you know, and everything that you documented before. And, you know, I like to sometimes do things that other people wouldn't necessarily do, just because if we don't try it, we won't know what's going to work.
I have great respect for Elizabeth Saint, having known her over the years, having traveled from, you know, conventions and things together, and knowing that Elizabeth goes out of her way to make specific equipment like the light anomaly that's here.
This is the light sensor I told you about. So maybe if we do see any light anomalies, we might be able to, it'll let us know by the color that it shines, essentially.
She developed something to look for those lights and then to try to figure out which color lights it is, and it lights up responsibly. The most famous thing, the ball moving down the stairs. So she makes a ball that she can measure any slight movement.
So what's unique about this is, I call it the comm sphere, and it actually communicates with my phone.
The Y, X, or Z axis, and it goes right to her software and it sends her an alert.
So it'll show me values in the X, Y, Z direction, if it moves.
To have the passion to say, I'm doing this case, what's the type of activity? What can I make specifically that will speak to trying to measure that type of activity? I mean, I have trouble getting on the Wi-Fi sometimes. She's like light years above that.
So I've known Dustin Perry for a few years now, and we've always seen each other like on the road, or, you know, the paranormal community is very like tight-knit community, so we've always run into each other, but I've never had the opportunity to actually work with him. So I'm really excited that I'll be able to do that here.
Alice, she seems to really embrace what's going on here, which is odd because she also seems to be afraid of it. And all I want to do is go upstairs and to the left. Ever since I've walked in the house.
Really?
Yeah.
When I first walked into the house, I even told her that. When I first walked in, I was immediately drawn to that door frame.
Yeah,
and
for sure. Just based on years of experience and feeling drawn to places, like that seems to be the place.
Me too, yeah.
So, just a couple of trip hazards here.
Yeah.
It's interesting too, because we have the 3 mirrors, like you said here, and then there's another right there. I was just trying to think for light purposes too, but if the door's closed, she does have this, what, is this a balcony area? But there's no road there, so you're not getting any like car light coming in through there.
No.
Because I was just trying to think for bouncing light.
We are close to the road in the front.
Watch that wire.
It's just a walk-in. What's with all the mirrors? There's one on the floor.
I don't know. There is a crawl space.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. I can't really open it standing there.
Do you know if anyone's ever been? No one's gone in the crawl space? We have to go in the crawl space.
Yeah, we definitely have to go.
Is there
in the crawl
asbestos?
space. No, that's,
Oh.
it was, what, in the 90s, that's pink.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
What is it?
like all my hair's just standing up there.
It is.
Like it just felt like something like grazed me, and I just looked down and everything.
That's
It
so
still feels like more
weird.
is going.
It's like you're about to get electrocuted.
Right.
But right before, you know, you get struck by lightning, a lot of times your
Yeah.
hair
Yeah, it
will
all did.
hair will stand up.
It's odd.
It's weird that no one's been in there.
I know, right? For sure. Jeez, I'm breaking things. It doesn't go too far back, but I mean, we could definitely sit in there and do like an EVP session or something.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah. If there's anybody here that could hear our voice, are you able to communicate by just knocking for us? Can you do something like that? How about in here?
Oh, you heard that, right?
And it sounded like it was in this.
It sounded inside.
Yeah. Sound like
There
a
it is.
woman's voice?
I heard a
I heard a knock.
Knock again.
It sounded like there was maybe like a woman's voice or something right before it. This happens quick. I think we get some good like starting points of ideas in terms of like trying to do a focus investigation. This area's already been pretty hot.
Yeah.
We've had knocks and response. So
Right.
if we do a session in the crawl space, use your ion charger, throw that in
Right.
there for a while, and then repeat the session.
right and
And
see if
see
there's
what
a
happens.
change.
Yeah.
I think that's smart.
I used to have an ion generator in my bedroom when I was a kid. It was like an air purifier and ion generator. I don't know, my mom bought it on QVC,
Okay.
but it was nice.
With ion motors, it's very interesting. Like the one I have, you can make it so it's producing positive, but you can also make it so it's producing negative ions, and it's going to have a different feeling and a different effect.
I did bring an ion motor, but the one I have is pretty serious.
Yeah. I don't want to brag, but the ion motor I have is
It's
pretty
little,
serious.
but it packs a punch. You're gonna go out that way?
Yeah, or not.
This one.
Which one to go to the garage? I don't know which door's which. It's like a labyrinth.
Dustin runs the show already.
Yeah, I go here and there.
What's all this? You guys digging out here? Wait, stop for a second. Do you hear that?
What was it?
Someone's whistling.
Oh, whistling, y'all.
Hello?
That's what I heard.
Let me
Yeah,
get.
there. You don't hear that?
I heard it.
You did?
Yeah.
It was the same tune.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Why that tune?
I know, right? Frere Jacques.
It is very Jacques.
Yeah. Is there something moving back there?
Totally
It
noise
sounded
to
like
my
someone
right.
was walking.
There's something just ran across there. I saw something go like straight across.
Was it a real person or
Oh man.
I heard a woman's voice over there a couple times.
You know, Alice, one thing I will say though, despite all the kind of touch and go little bits of activity, even inside, like, I don't know, for me personally, I don't feel anything that feels like threatening or
don't
angry
either.
in any way.
My neighbor said she said all these vague things, like thinking she sees people, she gets up there, there's nobody there.
There was no readings like out here, but out here we had the strange whistling.
Yeah.
Sounded like people were having a conversation back there.
Also a female voice.
We heard like footsteps, it seems like. You know, coming back tomorrow with more equipment, I will be curious to see if it responds the same.
Thrilled that you came, both of you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Oh yeah, it was our our pleasure.
And we get to meet Jacques.
We have a new person on the team.
You have a little mascot.
It helps us dig holes and stuff.
That's right. Dig and fill them.
Yes. At least he's courteous.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Florence, a small town in central Mississippi. Maybe you've never heard of it. It has history, some dark history as well. There were outlaws here, bad men, charlatans, those who would steal your money, those who would take your life. And like most good stories, the story happens long ago in a place far away, western South Carolina. A lady named Nancy Lusk. Her middle name was Agnes, and I believe she actually went by Agnes. She was born in a time of war. She came of age in the events leading up to the American Revolution. She was 19 years old. She married a man named William Steen. William Steen will actually fight in the American Revolution at the Battle of Kings Mountain. So about 1810, William decides to take his family west into the new Mississippi Territory where the land is rich and fertile. During this interval, one of his mules comes up missing. And so he goes out looking for his mule, and he never returns. It was believed that he might have been killed by the Native Americans who still claim this land as their own, but nobody really knows for certain. But nonetheless, he never returns, and so Agnes is now the matriarch of the family. And she and the rest of her grown children push on and complete the journey. And they settle here. And since they settled, first settlers, it becomes known as Steen's Creek. By the turn of the 20th century, this area has been known as Steen Creek for a while. And there's a new rail line coming through. They're going to build a railroad track from the Gulf Coast up into the capital city of Jackson, a few miles north of here. One gentleman, Mr. Ellis, will donate the land for the depot on one condition, and he wants that depot named after his wife. Willing to take the free land whenever they can. The depot is actually named Florence Depot rather than Steen's Creek. Most of American history, and again the history of the world, it's been a man's world. The men take the credit, enter the kings, or there's soldiers, there's the ones that go off and everybody raves about them, but back there behind them, in the shadows, there have always been the women. Making sure the farm is still running, making sure there's food still heading out to the front, making sure the hard decisions are being made. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. And now, it's 1905, we're going to give you a city. What are we going to call it? And I suspect, I don't know for certain, but I suspect by this time a lot of people had started referring it to it by the name of the depot, Florence, and the city of Florence was born. Founded by a woman and named for a woman.
Mary Alice? Hi.
have these for you. Thank you for making time to meet with us again.
We've had really incredible researchers do a deep dive with some of the steam history.
Florence has one. C. Ellis, that's the
And
one that
they found some old photographs.
gave the land to the railroad company.
The Steen family is the Steen name is a very, very well-known name in the Florence area. In fact, there's a lot of streets named Steen this, Steen that, Steen Creek.
Do you think Mr. Steen or Mrs. Steen has anything to do with the haunting here?
I don't know if the Steens have anything to do with the haunting here. We have had some EVPs with Henry.
Henry Steen is somebody that I've called out to several times. We've captured an EVP voice recording that did say Henry, obviously, and Henry Steen is one of the Steen families.
Can you tell us what your name is?
You know, there's definitely a pattern of the male, whether it's the apparition, whether it's the voice. Hearing Henry kind of validates and kind of puts things in to perspective.
So that's possible. There is a lot of Henrys in the world, though. That's interesting. It's not metal, but it's fabric of some kind. So, I found this while the detector picked up some metal. But what's interesting, even more to me, this looks like it's some kind of fabric. It's really sensitive.
Oh. Oh yeah.
It's hard to tell.
That's
Yeah. I'm gonna get a little pussy back.
Be very gentle with it. But what's intriguing about what this object is the fact that it was so deep.
What does it feel like, plastic or pottery or? Oh, it's even got a. Oh my goodness!
Oh, it's
let's
got
see.
fancy on it.
Oh my
Oh, it's got
goodness.
letters on it.
Because it was very good.
It's right there underneath. Here you go, Sabrina. Right there.
It looks like a steak.
That's weird. It's definitely metal.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Is that jewelry?
I think so. It might be a ring.
$68.
Silver usually rings around 70. I'm not saying it's silver, but
It's an odd shape.
We didn't find any evidence of bodies in the ground or old structures, so that makes sense that at one time there were graves back there, but the bodies have been removed. And that's what the ERI survey said, that there are unmarked graves there, but the bodies just aren't there anymore.
I set up some environmental sensors for us. And I'm going to be monitoring temperature, pressure, and also I do have a magnetic coil that I've wired up to an amplifier. And I just put it on the walking stick. I felt like there was Atmospheric data has always been really important to me on any investigation I do because I have found correlations between a change in the environment with paranormal activity happening. I'm not saying that that's a ghost, but what I am saying is that there are weird, interesting things that sometimes take place when you see a dip in the data. And I always find that to be fascinating.
Ta-da! We look great.
Oh my gosh, I'm crazed.
All right, so I brought a theremin, which is an old school instrument. So if we could wire the door, but we're going to extend the range of it, right?
Yeah, so I think by extending the antenna out, and since we both, when we first arrived here, we were drawn to this door frame.
Yeah.
So I think that by creating a threshold, so if any subtle energy comes in, the hope is that it sets off the theremin.
Right, that'd be great. So we're just wrapping the copper wire around the pitch antenna of the theremin here. So this would be normally how you control the pitch sound, by moving your hand closer.
Completely experimental, not sure if it's going to work, but if it does, that would be really interesting.
Just good to continue to try new things.
So, now we'll see.
Yeah, so now it's working. Because normally you have to be touching that. Go in the door.
Oh.
No,
You
that
heard
time
that,
it
right?
worked. Yeah, that time it worked.
That worked.
So it is. It's building
Yeah.
up and getting the whole thing now. Yeah.
Oh,
all
see?
right,
You
yeah.
can hear it?
Yep. That's a lot of fun.
Oh, that's so fun. I love science.
I like it. That's great.
The science community isn't open to the idea of the paranormal. And unfortunately, the paranormal community isn't viewed as, it's not taken seriously. That's the problem. We're just not taken seriously.
I've always thought it was interesting that for some reason people think science and spirituality have to butt heads. You know, the fact that research scientists would be afraid to speak to somebody about something of a spiritual nature or paranormal nature, I think shows that divide, and that divide is a problem.
I would love to get to a place where the field's taken more seriously, because not only do I think the paranormal community is missing out, but I also feel like the science community is missing out.
Do the initial run in here?
Yeah, I think yesterday when...
I got too close to it, sorry.
Oh, okay. But this is interesting, because if something...
This doorway seems to be an active spot, so if something decides to walk through here, we should be able to hear it.
So we're going to do an experiment.
All right, very good. So first, we're going to do an initial session. Everything's beeping. Did you touch the door?
No. Hold on.
I have to keep an ear out for both these things.
I'm just going to baseline this meter. Hello, this is Elizabeth and Dustin.
If you're able to communicate with us, or maybe let us hear your voice, or try to speak into this device here, we may be able to hear you. Dustin, to the team out in the tech tent, can you see if anybody is walking in the DVR cameras downstairs?
Nobody's walking. Okay, so timestamp.
You hear that? Can you tell us what road the house is on? Is there a name you like to go by?
What's the object on the stairs that you move?
Play it out here.
All right. Pardon me, young lady.
Is there a name you like to go by?
Oh, did you hear that?
I did.
That's awesome. Wow.
What's the object on the stairs that you move?
Oh, that's so good. I think he says baseball.
Crazy that baseball was said.
Right, for sure.
How much is that collectively us knowing?
Right. Maybe after we charge it up, we ask those questions again.
Again, the same exact ones.
Yeah.
And see if there's a change.
And then maybe we should throw in another question that we don't know the answer to.
I did bring an ion motor that actually creates and generates its own positive force field, but it's a pretty serious one. Could be potentially dangerous. I don't know. But I want to change the environment. I want to see what it's like before, and I want to see if you induce anything else in the environment, if that also creates change, if activity increases. Let's smell it. Can you tell me what street this house is on?
Can you tell us the name of the woman that lives here, the woman that built this house?
Can you tell us what's going on with the lights inside this house?
What is the object on the stairs that you move? There are two gentlemen that have investigated here for 12, 13, 14 years. Do you know either of their names?
Can you tell me what street this house is on? Can you tell us the name of the woman that
I think it says White Road.
Can you tell me what street this house is on?
Yeah. It says White Road.
What street this house is on? Can you tell us the name of the woman that lives here, the woman that built this house? Can you tell us the name of the woman that lives here, the woman that built this house? Tell us what's going on with the lights
Yikes.
inside this house? What is the object on the stairs that you move?
Ball.
We just said ball that time, yeah.
Just said ball.
Two gentlemen that have investigated here for 12, 13, 14 years. Do you know either of their names?
He said Jack?
So now we're going to do something a little different, and we're going to show you some cards. Here is the first card. Can you tell us what you see? We're going to show you the second card. Tell us what you see. Is it a number or is it a face card? Here's the third card. What color is it? What number?
Putting down card 3.
I'm going to show you card 4 now. Can you tell me what card Dustin is holding?
Putting down card 4.
Here is the first card. Can you tell us what you see? I'm going to show you the second card. Tell us what you see.
I think he says
The
it's
third
4.
card. What color is it? What number?
6.
It literally said 6.
It's crazy.
I'm going to show you card 4 now. Can you tell me what card Dustin is holding?
Red 10?
But we gotta play this again because
This is ridiculous.
bizarre.
I've never had a communication response like with this blind study thing that seemed to go that well.
No, but let's back up for a second because it wasn't just that. Like at the end, we re-asked the same questions and we got clearer responses.
Answers.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, White Road, Alice. It said something about their names. I couldn't pick it up. I thought it said Jack.
I heard White Road and heard Alice.
Oh, they did?
I heard they got White Road, they got Alice.
White Road, damn, that's where all that, I mean, damn, that's getting personal.
Here's the third card. What color is it? What number?
6.
Yep.
That
Red-
you hear very
it says
clearly.
Red 6, 6.
They say 6.
Getting direct responses to the
I
card
heard
doesn't
that.
show.
I wonder if that was right.
The third card. What color is it?
Red 6. 6.
I'm going to show you card 4 now.
That's so wild.
This is insane.
Tell me what card Dustin is holding.
Red 10.
But you don't really get the impact of it because it's like, you know, there's a conscious being, invisible conscious being in your room. I mean, really, that's a little unnerving. I mean, really, if you just go take a shower, you think, who is watching me take a shower? I mean, really, you do, because something's there. Something's there.
Last time we got baseball, which was great by itself.
Right.
But now it was every question pretty much had an answer. Every card.
Even if we couldn't make it out.
Yeah.
The cards are wild, though.
Yeah. Like it just blows my mind of all the years doing this. Like, I've never had. I mean, you're lucky if you get an EVP. It's still pretty good.
So much more could be found out, explored, experimented with, you know, if we were just open to the idea of incorporating science into the mix.
I think one of the nice things about the Mississippi house, of Alice's house, is it allows for that to happen. Because it's been documented long enough where it's not just some crazy story. I think that's the nice thing about it.
Hello.
My name's Lori McDonald. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist at True You Hypnotherapy in Sacramento, California.
So you tell me where you want me.
So my purpose in coming here is to facilitate a process that will allow Alice to feel that sense of ease and to be able to take possession of her own home. We'll begin the way I always begin, by just having you take some long, deep, rhythmic breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And in a moment, I'm gonna count backwards. 10, 7, twice as deep now on 5, on 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna go back to a time when you awoke and saw a very specific light. See that now.
It came on with a flash in an instant.
Mm-hmm.
Just totally unexpected. Everything else in the room is black, total black, very black. What if it turns toward me? What happens? I mean,
and what is its purpose?
I just happened to be there. I don't think its intent was to appear to me.
Did you sense in this light intelligence?
Mm-hmm. Not that the light's conscious, but that the governing of the light is.
So the light's coming from a source.
Yeah. Just
feel into
just
it.
Intelligence, like intelligent beings, maybe a group or something that they're intently interested in.
Sense into the light and try to sense their intent.
Whatever they were doing, it seemed very important. It's like they were all gathered around, observing something beneath the earth.
Who's the outcome important to?
To them.
To them. And is there anything else about this particular light that we need to know about, or you're pretty comfortable?
Yeah, I think the light was just a means, that there was no particular meaning.
I'm very, very happy to hear that, because you are removed from it. From this moment forward and for the rest of your life, removed from it. Through eliminating fear, we're opening up other avenues of energy like curiosity, and that's much healthier and puts her in a place of personal empowerment. So I want you to take a really deep breath now. Just really exhale. And I want you to really feel how good it is to know that you don't have to be afraid of that anymore. And let it all go. And how does that feel?
I do feel separated more from it.
So coming back now on 1, 2, taking a deep breath on 3, wiggling the toes on 4, eyes open 5.
Okay.
Very good.
I mean, the ultimate goal here is to get Alice comfortable in the house, to get her to stay here. It'd be awesome if she could live here full time, but right now she's not living here full time. Obviously, she won't even sleep here alone at night, but I want to take it in steps if I can. If we can get her in the house for a night, and then maybe that one night will turn into a few nights. Then maybe the few nights will turn into a week. That week becomes a month, and now she's in the house full time.
Tonight, anyway, I wanted to get your feeling on the house and on where we're sort of at. Well, we spoke to the team, and they're on standby in case you're okay with this. But we are wondering if maybe tonight might be a night you might be willing to sleep in the house.
You know, I've actually been thinking about that since the hypnosis, because for some reason, it wasn't what I expected. I expected that I would have to relive that experience, but it wasn't that at all. It was actually getting out of that experience. And so I feel like I can watch it from a distance.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I'll sleep with my flashlight, and I'll try to do it.
You think you
Mhm.
really?
I think that she knows that this is the first step for her to be able to live in the house and be able to be here full time.
I don't necessarily think that, the activity is going to fully stop. And if we weren't able to ever get her back inside the house, I wouldn't consider that a failure. She has so much more confidence, and I think that that's a major stepping stone.
I'm on speed dial.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. And I'll see y'all hopefully in the morning.
She slept in the house. She slept in the house. It's been a decade she hadn't done that. The thing I remember is the next morning, walking in the door and just smelling coffee. She was waking up, making coffee in her house. That just hit me in a different way. It was neat.
I think it's a natural response sometimes to be afraid of what you can't explain.
You have a right to have your feelings validated, but you also, if you truly want to understand that fear, you have to explore it.
You have to walk through that fear. You have to confront your fear.
Because something to remember, and I think that's very important, is sometimes we don't acknowledge our own personal power.
It's not easy to change the way we see things. It's not easy to change our perspective. It takes practice, it takes time, it takes work.
And this is our duty, our responsibility. It's an obligation of being human. This is what we do best. We learn.
Shakespeare said, "To thine own self be true, and then thou canst be false to any man. To your own self be true." And it would have been against my own truth to have moved out or to sold it.
What Kendall and I set out to do was get Alice back into her house, and that happened. She spent a night here, and she woke up happy.
And Alice has turned this whole thing to work for her, and I just think that is remarkable. I think her attitude is perfect, and the fact that she's already making steps to staying back in her home, she's taking that fear away and she's replacing it with courage and dedication to getting answers. She says she wants to further the field, and I think she has.
And I don't think that's ever been done before. So I'm kind of feeling like this is the most thorough, in-depth paranormal investigation that has ever been documented.
And I say when, not if, because that carriage will come down. You can mark my words. I've been saying it before you guys even got here, and you're going to hear it now. I have no reason to have the full confidence, but I do have the full confidence. The carriage is coming down the stairs. Any intelligent spirits that are in the house, focus your energy on that carriage that I place at the top of the stairs, and you have our full permission to push it down the stairs. So please focus your energy, I know you can without a doubt, and push that carriage down the stairs.
Sweet.
Good?
Great job.
All right.
Wonderful job.
Carriage is coming down.
Let's just hold on our talking. All right, I'm gonna arm it, so we'll get out of here. All right.
Armed away.